started.
Oh, it did? How did it start?
I guess it's all your hands.
I have to be careful of my gestures because that starts the video. So, we talked a little bit about coal in our last video, and we didn't really give much information or besides referencing him. But I think you got us started with his content, what, like 2 or 3 years ago?
Whenever he started. I don't know why YouTube suggested his videos to me, probably because I was looking up stuff about fasting.
And I think initially his content, what captivated us was snake diet, right?
Right.
And I haven't refreshed my memory on it. It's been a minute since I looked into it, but isn't that the basics, having salt, potassium, magnesium
in water
in a certain consistency, so you're hydrated and you don't have diarrhea. If you have the wrong consistency, it can flush you. Like it was reminiscent of the cayenne and lemon cleanse when they have the morning salt water flush. Very similar, but Cole's snake diet is just slightly less of salt, I think, with the water, and so you don't have that flush, and you just have the basic nutrients to keep yourself hydrated through the day.
Yes.
And you tried that a couple of times?
Yeah, but I don't know how long or how much I might have. I probably didn't do it 100% like I should have.
Wasn't it a solution to your cramps at work? Didn't you think to use the snake juice sometimes when you weren't wanting to eat a lot during your 10-hour shift, but you were having some hunger pangs, or what was it?
No, sometimes I would just maybe drink some snake juice just at work because it's supposed to help hydrate you and different things. But I wasn't at the job I do now when I came upon the snake diet.
Mm-hmm. I know that you've seen it as a solution for my mom's situation, where she would be having hydration issues, where she has a lot of cramps, and she's always had cramps all her life, but the last, I'd say 20 years or so, they're so debilitating that she has to catch her breath. She has to walk it off for even 10 minutes to 30 minutes. And you've suggested it to her, so she's got all the ingredients in her shelf now. She's 87 years old. She's very into finding natural remedies to solve her symptoms. So she was very happy to hear about the snake diet. And she's used it off and on successfully. I think I really picked up on it because I was, again, wanting to lose weight, but I didn't want to rely on the cayenne lemon cleanse again. And you had introduced the snake juice to me, and so I really tried it. I can't remember the details, how long I went for. I think I started a 10-day fast, and I mixed the snake juice initially for the first 3 days, and then went into a dry fast and all of this, and it helped for for those kinds of fasts to have energy and strength.
And the latest thing he's saying is the sugar fast, which is you have a lot more energy, and I don't know the science behind it. Some other channels do, but as Cole says, you don't need the science. I mean, he's been doing all kinds of experiments on himself, and he's a personal trainer and sharing them with his clients and having positive results. So if you have to eat, you don't have to water fast, you can sugar fast, but again, you're going to be cutting out food, or you're going to be cutting out fat and carbs. No, mistake, you'll be cutting out fat and protein. You'll just be eating carbs on the sugar fast.
I think now that you made that comment, it triggers why I was trying the snake juice initially. It was because water fasting was so hard for me, and at least the snake juice gives you the minerals and like the potassium, magnesium. It gives you that longevity. So water fasting is very difficult because you don't have those nutrients, the minerals, and what's the word I'm looking for?
Salt, maybe?
Yeah, for hydration, so that the water is absorbed and utilized instead of just getting flushed. And the salt and the magnesium, potassium helps it stay in the body and hydrate yourself. I am not a scientist, and I find it very hard to regurgitate all the details, but you were mentioning that Cole has done a lot of experiments on himself. I see him as very scientific minded, medical minded, where he can understand the processes of how the cell works, and he's experimented with different kind of measurements. For instance, hasn't he done MRIs and things like that?
DEXA scans.
DEXA scans, and so he's done measurements to see how, when he does XYZ, how does it look in his body. I can't understand half of how his mind works, but he's very trustworthy, I think, as far as reasoning out and applying how things work in the body and how it should be.
And I know I believe it was him that's mentioned there's some guy, I can't remember his channel, I have to try and find it, that you don't mix carbs and fat together. If you're gonna have a high fat meal or some fat, fine, have it, but don't have carbs with it. Maybe let that digest for several hours. And then if you want carbs, have that together. Have just the carbs and not the fat. Because the carbs and the fat, it does something that prevents insulin from getting into the cells and leads to diabetes. He's even had his diabetic neighbors do his sugar fast, and their blood sugars are down. Trying it out at work, again, a physical job, I would drink a soda on breaks and lunch, and my blood sugar was normal when I got home for that day. So I need to try it more. Instead of taking off of work to fast, I can, because you're not eating anything if you're doing a water or dry fast, even especially a dry fast has its own set of benefits, unique benefits as well. But for right now, I'm not really wanting to take off of work, so I could do the sugar fast if I can get over, you're just eating sugar, and you get tired of it after a while, as with anything else.
So much of what we're saying is based on our experiences. So we've taken advice based on Cole's work and applied it. I've tried the sugar fast for almost 3 weeks. One thing that I've noticed Cole doesn't or has not yet addressed, and to be honest, I don't listen to a lot of Cole's material. He listens to it and tells me about it. But if he's addressed it, then I apologize. I haven't caught on that. But when I was trying the sugar fast, it didn't work for me in that, yes, I lost weight and I've kept it off. I lost 4 pounds and I have not regained the weight, the scale weight. It did not work for me in that I think I have a proclivity towards inflammation. And I don't think he's addressed how people might react to sugar as an inflammatory substance. So my joints just started aching. I do a 5-hour shift at Amazon. All the little joints of my feet that you never even realized that exist. Now suddenly you realize you have 1,000 joints in your feet because they all ache and throb and burn, and you have numbness. And I've never been diagnosed with any kind of rheumatism or any kind of arthritis or anything like that, but I have family history, and I've always suspected it in the past. When I eat certain foods, I'll have those temporary symptoms. When I go off of certain foods, they'll be relieved. For instance, when I was doing a long 10-day fast, all those symptoms would go away. When I would do the snake juice or even the maple cleanse, I would have no symptoms of joint pain, swelling, none of that. Once I get back onto the regular North American diet, whatever that might be, a lot of carbs, fat, overeating, all those symptoms would come back. So I think that's the one thing just to remember when you're trying these alternative therapies suggested. We're talking about, we don't know your history, your family history, what's good for you. Do a skin test before you apply the whole bottle.
So, well, I guess that's it. Do you have a question for me? I need to talk louder. Sorry about the volume. I need to remember I need to talk louder.
We are saving money. We have not purchased high-end equipment, so we are relying on volume, internal diaphragmic volume. Ciao. See y'all later.
We're still here. You're still here.